Hello, today I'm looking at a New Forest campsite called Holland Wood, which is just north of Brockenhurst, and it's on the edge of quite a main road, so you can hear the noise of the traffic. I haven't walked in this campsite since 2005, when the New Forest Association, which is known as the Friends of the New Forest, did a baseline survey of all the New Forest campsites. This campsite was set up by the Forestry Commission in the 1970s, and at that time they had to fell many old veteran oaks to really make it safe for camping. That felling has continued to make it safe for camping. So old trees with dead branches, they all have to be cut off, so there's a continual depletion of the woodland. And at the time of the survey, 2010, from aerial photographs, it was quite plain to see that the wood had lost 50% of its woodland canopy. Holland Wood is a pasture woodland. That means that cattle and ponies are grazing this woodland all the time. It's a very rare habitat and it's recognised internationally, and there's very little of it left in Europe. Through the centre of this campsite there is quite a wide tarmac road, and it runs for nearly a mile. I was pleased to see that there were some trees left in this wood, and it's amazing how robust a woodland can be. This is the result of over 50 years of camping, which is only a mere few minutes in the life of a woodland. As long as the campsite remains in this wood, the wood will continue to deteriorate. I noticed quite a lot of this cutting of ivy on old trees, not a thing that Forestry England would do now. It's a practice that is no longer acceptable, certainly not in an ancient woodland. As you can see, apart from the road, there's lots of gravel tracks. The whole campsite is a maze of tracks, and there are buildings, there are sheds and necessary equipment for camping. One of the things I did notice on this visit was the prominence of these waste bins that are apparently left throughout the whole winter, just stored on the forest. This red one was used for disposable barbecues, and it did surprise me because the Forestry Commission have stopped all barbecues being used on the New Forest. But these campsites are really no longer managed by the Forestry England. They've virtually been privatised and are run by a private company. The private company we've only just discovered has got a 75-year lease, and they paid apparently £12 million for that privilege. Now the rest of the site, you can see that the grass is very worn from camping, and considering that the year before this campsite actually wasn't used because of COVID, so it did have a year of summer to recover. But you can see what camping has done to the ground vegetation. This video was only made over a very short period, about half an hour, but wherever I walked I found ground like this. The woodland is definitely thinning out because trees are dying and are not getting a chance of any regeneration. What I did notice, though, that there were some quite nice clumps of bramble, and I imagine that is the result of not removing the dead wood, because dead wood in a pasture woodland is absolutely essential for regeneration, because it protects the saplings that come up through the bushes and the bramble bushes. Now, over the years, various buildings have been built. To start with, they were pretty simple wooden huts for reception and everything, but now there are brick buildings, toilet blocks, shower blocks. And if you read some of the reviews of the campers that have camped here, they don't seem to be very happy about the state of some of these buildings. There can be very few places in Europe where you would be allowed to camp in such an important habitat as a pasture woodland. We know that Natural England know that this is a SSSI and the site is in an unfavourable condition, declining. Anyway, this is just a short look at one of the problems in the New Forest. Goodbye.